For our Maundy Thursday devotion, we move away from Matthew's Gospel. We go to the Gospel of John, chapter 17. This is the last section of the upper room teaching, or the upper room discourse, which started way back in John chapter 13. Jesus' time with his disciples starts with Jesus modeling servant leadership as Jesus washes the disciples' feet, and ends with Jesus praying for the disciples and for us. While the entire prayer in John 17 is great to meditate upon, it's the last few verses that we read today. We start in verse 20 of John chapter 17. Jesus says, "I do not pray for these alone, but also for those who will believe in me through their word, that they all may be one, as you, Father, are in me, and I in you, that they also may be one in us, that the world may believe that you sent me. And the glory which you gave me I have given them, that they may be one, just as we are one. I in them, and you in me, that they may be made perfect in one, that the world may know that you have sent me, and have loved them as you have loved me." In these 4 verses, Jesus prays for those who will come to know God through the witnesses of the disciples. In other words, Jesus is praying us. My New Testament professor, Dr. Roger Hahn, had a few things to say regarding this prayer of Jesus's. Dr. Hahn wrote, "The first petition for the future believers is that they may all be one. The model for the unity of believers is again the oneness of Jesus and the Father. That fact suggests several important ideas. First, oneness does not mean sameness. Jesus and the Father were different. Believers are called to be one, but will be different. Second, the oneness of Jesus and the Father is not primarily understood in institutional ways. The different denominations do not prevent us from a oneness like that of the Father and the Son. Third, the oneness of Jesus and the Father seems to operate primarily in sharing the Father's will for the world. Oneness for believers arises from sharing the Father's will for the salvation of the world. The last part of verse 21 states that the purpose of the oneness is that the world may believe." Thank you, Dr. Hahn. The community of faith that is called the church has had its issues over the years. At its heart is this directive: to respond to God, to make God known to others. As Jesus' death drew near, Jesus was praying that this new community of faith would be united to God and to each other by the commitment to share with others God's desire to see humanity set free from the power of sin. After this prayer, Jesus and the disciples moved to the Garden of Gethsemane. It was at this location in the other Gospels that Jesus sweat great drops of blood as he prayed. This was the beginning of the crushing torment, the pain that Jesus would bear as he journeyed ever closer to Calvary and the cross. Compared to the other Gospels, John gives us a very abbreviated account of the events in the Garden of Gethsemane. But John makes sure that we remember Jesus' identity and the source of Jesus' authority. For John, as it should be for us, there is no doubt about the identity of Jesus. There is no doubt that Jesus, up to the very end, prayed for and protected his faithful disciples. Whatever we are facing today, God provides the strength and the courage through Jesus to continue forward in obedience to God's leading, to God's will. May we remember that all we face is meant to bring glory to God, but not to ourselves. This is the attitude Jesus showed as he